Stephon Gilmore is what we're talking about here on NFL Daily, and it's the latest going on around the New England Patriots. ESPN's Bill Barnwell, he wrote an article of basically ranking the top 32, or I shouldn't say top 32, the best off seasons for every team. He had the New England Patriots ranked at number 2, but the one thing that he said that really stuck out to me was like, don't be surprised if Gilmore is traded before the season starts. So I saw that, I'm like, okay. Obviously, we know there's a lot of trade rumors going on around the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, but anytime you get new information on what could potentially happen or somebody from ESPN, I'm at least going to give my 2 cents on it. We know that he's going to be a free agent in 2022, and the Patriots, they do have some difficult decisions to be able to make. They made a lot of good offseason moves in terms of being able to go out and signing some big-name free agents, whether it was on the offense or defensive side of the football, which is why they were ranked so high. But they also placed a second-round tender on J.C. Jackson, and I'm a believer that if you're the Patriots, you have a guy like Gilmore, you have a guy like Jackson. Can you extend both of them? Probably not. You're more than likely going to have to pick one. And Jackson, he's coming off a year where he had 40 tackles, 9 interceptions, 14 pass breakups. Or do you go with Gilmore, who was the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, but he's also coming off an injury. So if you could extend one player out of the 2 dudes that you see on screen, who should New England extend? I want you to type G for Gilmore, or I want you to type J for J.C. Jackson. If you're having a difficult time deciding, don't worry. Maybe if I throw a few more stats at y'all to help you out a little bit. When you look at Gilmore's stats over the last 5 seasons, 2018, 2019, there was not a better cornerback in the league. 2016, even was he with the Bills. This guy has not really had a bad season since last year, and that was because he had a pretty wicked thigh injury for all you people in New England. And then Jackson, 2018 is a rookie, 3 picks. 2019, 5 picks. 2029, if that trend continues 3 or 4 years from now, he's going to have 20 interceptions. Obviously, I'm kidding. But what I am going to bring up here about Jackson, why I think it's a little bit different in terms of Gilmore, people don't try to throw at Stephon Gilmore. I'm not saying they tried to throw at J.C. Jackson, but the reason why Jackson's interceptions numbers were really high and pass breakup numbers were high is because people were targeting him. They wanted to go after Jackson. They didn't want to throw at Gilmore. So, even though Gilmore's a little bit older, I still might pick Gilmore if I'm trying to win in the next 3 seasons. If you want to know the player that could play for the next 5, 6, then sure, maybe then you ultimately go with a guy like Jackson. But what do y'all think here? Will Gilmore get traded? We've been talking about Gilmore trade rumors here for the last 5, 6 months on NFL Daily. So sooner or later, something's got to give. So will Gilmore get traded? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. If the Patriots can get a good offer, personally, I really think that they should go ahead and do it. Now, they still have to eat some of his contract, and if there's another NFL team out there that's like, we are a cornerback away, I think a great example of a team like that could be the Arizona Cardinals, where they just lost Patrick Peterson. If they're willing to give up a first, maybe a second-round pick to go out and get Gilmore, get a top cornerback in this room, then they're only going to have to pay him about $7 million because, again, New England has to eat $8 million of his contract if he's traded. And we've seen the Patriots, we've seen Belichick do stuff like this in the past. He traded Logan Mankins right before the season started, traded Richard Seymour right before the season started. So when you see Gilmore out there, he might not be a player that you hear a lot about in terms of being practice, but if they get a good offer and they feel like they can move on from him, all I'm saying is, Patriots fans, don't be surprised.